Now, Coach Boeheim gave credit to the offense for the win in this one, and with what Girard and the bench did, you can't really blame them all that much, but the defense deserves a little credit for themselves. Defensively on the perimeter, they were great. Down low, they could certainly improve as the rest of the season continues on, but holding Padula to just 10 points despite his 17.3 points per game. And overall, Virginia Tech 3 for 19 from beyond the arc. Got to give them their credit. The answer is Coach FLJ. I mean, how could it not be? You got to be excited about that program, what they're doing, and the potential that Deisha Fair has another year of eligibility. She comes back. That team has a lot of talent returning. Deisha Fair leading the way, and of course FLJ, who I think all of us with that wear orange would run through a wall for her with the way she speaks, the way she gets everything going, the way she's turned this program around in 1 year, getting things going in the WNIT. But the men, there's just a lot of question marks right now.
Yeah, I would say in general playing a 5-round-0 would be a tough way to go. So they're going to have to invest in that hype, but I also want to see some development within the players they already have, and maybe a next step for Georgia Willoughby to become an elite scorer. She had showed flashes of that for sure, but taking that next step for her, and a player I really enjoyed, especially down the stretch towards the end of the season, Kennedy Perkins.
We got the Champions League starting up right now. Who's impressed you the most in the round of 16?
Yeah, so we're just through the first leg, going to the second leg of a lot of these games, and as many of these teams have been impressive, I'm looking at a couple teams. Benfica first. They're not a top 5 league team, but they have been pummeling their opponents, doing really well against Club Brugge. And I'm looking at a Serie A team in Napoli. They're running away with the competition. They've been incredible. So I'm looking at them as maybe a little dark horse. Everyone loves their Liverpools, their Real Madrids, whatever it may be. But watch out for Napoli in this one. Paint a picture for you now. Fresh air, peanuts and Crackers Jacks, a fresh drink, and some pinstripes. That's right, Yankee baseball is back as the Yankees welcome the Giants to the Bronx for opening day. Your new AL single-season home run record holder Aaron Judge steps up in the first inning. So no one really sees Spallina as a threat here, but he gets this wide open pass despite a ton of congestion in front of goal. Not as easy as it looks as well. This hung situation is broken up because of off-ball movement. You see this cut here, you see this cut here, and you see this cut somewhat in this direction. Hiltz will be the target man, and he will score with, I would say, relative ease, but it was because of that movement opening it up. Certainly talk about the future. Deisha Fair, she's coming back an extra year for the star guard of the Orange. Jeremy, we'll start with you this time. What kind of impact do you think she'll be able to provide for the Orange next season?
This is a tough time to predict because there's more options than I think most players in the previous years would have, with the transfer portal going to Europe and obviously the NBA as an option. But I think one guy that could really benefit from staying would be Judah Mintz. I think him, and if you could bring in another guard to pair with him, it would be a really fantastic option. I think it is time for Joe Girard to move on and for the program to move on from Joe Girard, simply because I think if they want to do something different on defense, he does make things a little more difficult. He's not known for his defensive capabilities, although he is stellar on the offensive end.
SAA sectional semifinals are wrapped up, and your March 5th title game is set. Liverpool and Christian Brothers Academy were the first two to duke it out on Saturday, and it started here. Jadir Reese contact layup and one. And Braden Burns on the other side for CBA. He's got a response for himself, an acrobatic finish. But look back, here's Bruce Wingate, pull-up 3 from deep on the catch and shoot, and he had 13 in the contest. And who do you know, Jadir Reese back involved. You see this fancy little hop step from Reese, 18 for him. Andreo Ash adds 17, 10 from the free throw line as they move on to the title game. But we jump to the second half, and this is where things fell apart, and it was the tray ball doing them in. Blake Hinson, he shot 17 triples in the game, 6 of them going down. And then it's Nelly Cummings, 3-point play for him. Yeah, and the foul. Knockdown for Cummings. He had 14 in the contest. Williams, he had 24, trying to do a little extra here in the post this time. Off the glass, a little kiss there for him, but it wouldn't be enough. Greg Elliott, corner 3, and that would be 3 of his 19, 5 for 11 from deep. Coach Capel, Pitt, all of them celebrating as Pitt hits the 14-win mark in ACC play, and Syracuse suffers a third straight 17-point loss. Any shot at the big dance for SU now rests exclusively on the ACC tournament.
Glad to have a great session today. How are you doing? Let's have a great session.
As a national title-winning coach, it's hard to imagine accomplishing something greater. When you're Coach Ian McIntyre, the answer is a little different. For Coach,
there's more to do.
All programs, in any sport, at any level, are defined by wins and losses. Winning became a reality in 2022, but that doesn't happen without the right culture. Coach McIntyre and his staff have built a program that actually feels like a family. You may say it, but you can't actually fake it. And players like Lorenzo Baselli and Andre Cutler de Jesus felt it ever since their recruitment.
It didn't start with, we want you to come here and play. It was, how's your family? How are you doing in Dallas? How did you get used to the American environment? So it was personal, and
it just felt like it was a different touch compared to other coaches in terms of how he cared about me as a person.
It's about finding the right fit for both the team and individual player. The culture that has developed from difficult seasons, only winning twice during the pandemic, and a collection of players and coaches that share a similar vision has been their recipe for success. Coach McIntyre says that whether in business or sport, culture is everything.
You have to experience it, and that takes some time, and it's getting to know. It goes both ways. You want to find out about to make sure student athletes are the right fit for us, and the same thing that we're the right fit for them.
Although winning can make that kind of environment easier to develop, success on the field does not happen overnight. With the proper foundation, the Orange have a soccer program the players love to be a part of, and a coach they couldn't be happier to perform for.
we're really happy that we accomplished something for him, because it was a long time that he's been working in Q's, and he deserved it. So we're really happy and looking forward to it.
That one title isn't the end for McIntyre and, as he put it, this very orange slice of New York. The team says it was always them, and they will always dare to dream.
A real exciting opportunity, and I'm delighted, my family's delighted to be part of that, and realize that there's still a lot of work ahead of us.
And although coach and the squad are going to be looking towards a title defense in the fall, they're focused on a 5-game spring schedule, 1 game against Marist already under the belt, a game this weekend, a trip to Toronto FC, and the final one will be next month against Cornell, and will be played at hopefully a less snowy SU soccer stadium. In Syracuse, I'm St.Jean.